Hello everyone. I had a video request for something to do with empaths and how to recover from the energies that are given to us by other people. So to start this, I'm going to talk a little bit about neutrals and mediations, like when you're helping other people. Because in our daily lives, that's literally what we do. We always go through life helping other people. And some of us do it more than others, but there's always some type of help given, be it a cashier or, a lawyer, police officer, an emergency responder, a neighbor helping out, kids helping people carry in groceries. Like, the majority of our lives is spent helping other people. And with that, we get a lot of conflict resolutions in our life. So in a conflict resolution, empathy is key. As neutrals, aka mediators, we need to understand the mindset of the people in front of us and how to get them past whatever is blocking them from reaching an agreement. The transformative approach to resolving conflicts requires empathy from the mediator and the participants. Transformative mediation isn't only about getting agreements, but the details of the dispute. It's an effort to get at what lies underneath, what can be transformed and fundamentally change the relationship. It's important to understand the difference between empathy and sympathy. An example of sympathy. Your friend calls you up and tells you that their boyfriend has cheated on them. You immediately become irate and say terrible things about the boyfriend and how he mistreated them and that they should just dump him and move on. You acted on your agenda. As a friend who cares and doesn't want the friend to be hurt. The person is left with their own sadness and distress. An example of empathy. Your friend calls and tells you that their boyfriend cheated. Before responding, you let them talk. You ask them how they are feeling and what they are thinking without putting in your opinion. Basically, you listen, ask questions, and in that way, stay on them or on their agenda and care for them in the moment. You have helped that person process their emotions, and now they can make a conscious decision about the boyfriend and the relationship. Empathy fuels connections. Sympathy drives disconnection. Attributes of empathy. Perspective taken, being able to see something from another's point of view. Staying out of the judgment zone. Recognizing emotion in other people and communicating that recognition and understanding. Empathy is an effort to see the humanity in the other person. When you express genuine empathy for someone, they can relate to you and eventually trust you. Resolving conflict requires that the participants see things from each other's perspective, that they hold judgment at bay, and that they see what the other person is feeling. Only by doing those things will they be able to understand each person and begin to repair the damage. Imagine yourself looking at someone who makes you angry. Consider what you see them doing, what you hear them saying. What is it that makes you so mad? Now, imagine yourself looking at you from their eyes in the same situation. Consider how they see you, what they hear from you. Then imagine that you are in a third party looking at the two of you in the situation from the outside perspective. What do you see? What do you hear? Does this experience create a greater empathy from you towards the other person? If so, how might you act differently going forward to eliminate the conflict and restore the relationship? Empaths versus sympaths. Empaths literally feel the emotional highs, lows, and imbalances of others. Sympaths do not. Empaths can sense even the slightest human, sometimes animal, and sometimes plant life suffering. Sympaths can see obvious suffering but cannot sense it as empaths do. Empaths have an extremely hard time saying no to others. Sympaths are helpful when they can be, but not at the expense of themselves. Empaths get easily overwhelmed with loads. Empaths get easily overwhelmed with loud noises or watching anything with excessive negative emotions. I will say this though. A lot of empaths are into true crime. So it's literally like we just, know that we're going to get so upset and feel and be distraught, but we can't help it because we literally care so much about the victims. Sympaths are more observatory when they are in these situations. Empaths are often introverts and have trouble in crowds. Sympaths are usually more extroverted and don't have a problem being the center of attention. Many empaths are animal lovers and often like to rescue animals. Sympaths are usually more tolerant of animals and don't want to see them suffer, but most sympaths don't go out of their way to find and rescue animals. People tend to tell empaths their life story even when they don't know them. People may reach out to sympaths for support or advice, but usually just close friends. Okay, so now that we know a little bit between the difference of being an empath and being a sympath, which is very important to resolve conflicts in everyday life, and how we can prepare ourselves when we do go out into public or when a crowded room is even just nearby. And sometimes chat rooms. Some empaths, like me for example, I can go into a chat room and there can be 50 people talking and I may not know exactly who I am feeling, especially if 2 or 3 people have said that they're not feeling well or whatever. I may not exactly know who I am feeling, but I know that it is somebody in that room, and it does not matter the distance. Like, it's not the same with just texting with, a kid in another room telling them to go and do the dishes. They have a headache, okay, I can pick up on that. You can literally be across the world in a chat room, and I can pick up on it. So, blocking is key. But anyway, an empath is someone with a supernatural ability to feel the mental, emotional, and sometimes even physical state of others. For example, if someone has a toothache, an empath may pick up on it by actually feeling the toothache as their own. Some empaths can be happy and walk into a room where someone is depressed, and their happiness goes down the drain, even if no one appears depressed. Many empaths do not even realize they have this gift. Therefore, they are vulnerable to the push and pull of other strong emotions to the point some have been diagnosed as bipolar when they reach out for professional assistance, to later find out that the meds and counseling don't work because they are empaths and not bipolar. And it also goes into being, depressed and or deemed as depressed or anxiety and stuff like that too. Without the proper energy tools to stay grounded, centered, protected from others, some empaths also turn to addictive substances to cope with feelings that are not theirs. Empaths often experience feelings of depression, anxiety, and low self-worth. Most of the time, these feelings were never the empaths in the first place and can easily be blocked against or removed from the aura. Empaths also run the risk of drawing the attention of energy vamps, which can easily latch on and drain you of your energy, causing physical symptoms as well as emotional ones. Since empaths have a unique ability to feel and understand what others are going through, empaths make excellent guides, healers, teachers, nurses, friends, etc. But without the proper protection tools in place, empaths get easily overwhelmed by crowds, negative people, narcissists, the inability to say no, and trying to rescue everyone. This cuts off the empath's ability to heal, guide, and be a way shower for others to follow their example. Many empaths don't understand that they are empaths, and they get dragged down when they try to say loved ones and friends who don't wish to be saved. They take on the depression, anxiety, and imbalances of others, thinking it is their own to carry. So, what protects an empath? Black tourmaline offers potent, empathetic protection from psychic attacks and negative energies. Black tourmaline is also known to have a very calming effect for empaths. It is also a healing gemstone and can be used in energy work to promote healing in the body by cleansing out stuck or unwanted energy. This gemstone works like a shield to protect against lower energies. This stone can be cleansed and charged by placing it with a piece of selenite. Organite is made of resin, metal shavings, and crystals. It not only repels negative energies and psychic attacks, it also blocks harmful EMF and man-made radiation. Organite combined with black tourmaline can create a powerful empath shield. Selenite can be used for mental stability and a protection shield for empaths. It's the energizer battery of crystals. Selenite also works as a physical body recharger as it balances the mental and emotional bodies and casts a powerful protective aura that also brings good luck. Now, one thing that a lot of empaths do not know is that the rose, just a rose, is very good for empathic abilities. The flower, a rose charm, a drawing or painting, anything that can be worn or hung up in your room, your office, whatever, could be a tattoo, can help you shield from feeling others' emotions or physical issues that can be passed on to you through energies. The rose is very effective at protecting your aura and has been used for centuries by various spiritual cultures, mediums, psychics, etc. The rose holds a very beneficial vibration that comes with its own grounding cord, the stem, to siphon off negative energy. You can use a rose for empathic protection by visualizing a rose halfway between you and whoever you want to protect your space from. The red rose creates a natural, neutral barrier between you and the other person. What belongs to you stays on your side of the rose, and they keep what is theirs. You can visualize the stem of the rose going into the earth as a natural grounding cord for siphoning off the energies. or you can use a grounding cord. Just take a cord that is about 2 foot long and bury one end in the ground. Sit on the ground holding the cord and visualize all the negative energies you've taken on from others leaving your body and your aura space. And then the tailbone grounding is very, very beneficial. You set firmly against a tree where your tailbone is connected in the area where the tree meets the ground. Visualize the energies leaving your body through the tailbone and right down into the roots of the tree. After a bit and you feel the relief, visualize the earth's pure energies coming up through the roots and into your body through the tailbone. That way you release and you retrieve new pure energies. A rock is also very beneficial. Since it's YouTube approved, I won't tell you to go smack somebody with it. That helps a lot too, though, by the way. But for this, we hold on to the rock and visualize all the negative energies being absorbed into the rock. Once you feel like all the energies are out of you, you throw the rock as far as you can. You can drop it in a lake or a river, or you can bury it in order to keep the energies from returning to you. Sage. I recommend sage on a daily basis. Burn sage to clear your energies and cleanse your area, or put sage into some lotion and use the lotion while at work, in a crowd, or a family reunion where energies can go wild. Moon water. Moon water is spring water that is placed outside in the moon or under the moon with a clear quartz in it. Everybody has different stones that they like to put in it, and you can vary the stones that you use. I know people that work darker paths like to use the smoky crystals. People that work kind of more of a love and light tradition, they use the regular clear crystals or the rose crystals. I've seen many stones used. But for this, we're just going to say clear quartz. Anyway, you put that in the water and you let it set outside for the moon cycle. Usually the full moon, but depending on what your goal is, different phases have different results. If you're familiar with this, then you know what I'm talking about. If you're not familiar with this, I can do a video about it at some point. But you can add this water to lotion, a couple of drops to purify lotion to use on you. You can add it to bath water, depending on how you prepared it, and make sure that it stays clean. You can actually use this water to make tea or even coffee with. There's many different things that you can do with the moon water. And if you really seriously need a boost to cleanse, you can add a couple drops of sage oil to the water to give that the boost. Tiger's Eye is also very healing energetically and helps balance toxic emotions and energy. The black onyx helps release negative energies and emotions. And I know a lot of empaths wear black onyx either in a necklace or in a bracelet. And amethyst increases the abilities and intuitions, plus promotes calm minds. It also cleanses the aura and the chakras from negativity. So that wraps up this about being an empath and empaths versus sympaths, and how to protect yourself from the energies that you take on. Now, today with the live, that is actually for doxing, trolling, swatting, stuff like that, I have not heard back from anybody as far as anybody wanting to come on panel and tell their stories. So if nobody comes up within like the first, few minutes of it, then I may go ahead and just change the topic over to being an empath. That way everybody can, talk about it, get advice from others or whatever, because everybody I know through YouTube, or at least the ones that I am closer to, are empaths. And as empaths together, it makes our abilities a lot stronger than if it was just one or two of us in a chat room. You get a couple hundred of us in a chat room, and we start bouncing those energies off of each other, trying to reflect them and stuff, and it gets complicated. But I personally would not give up being an empath. It makes me who I am, and it does the same for everybody else. So much love, everybody.